Hello and welcome to Furryearsworld, where tonight we are going to try and have a look at Open TTD. I'm recording this with new recording software, so hopefully you are actually seeing this and I'm not just making a complete ass of myself. But we do play on occasions, on weekends, some multiplayer Open TTD, and we have a jolly good laugh, but not everyone knows how to play it, and it's very hard to just jump in cold on this game if everyone else is doing really great things and you're just left out in the cold fumbling around. So this is going to be a quick basics guide. This isn't going to tell you all the strategies because I don't know all the strategies. I invariably don't do terribly well at the game, but it's important to get sort of grounding so you know where you're starting, what you're doing, how you're getting on. So let's just jump in with a new game. Let's just jump in there, get the world generated. This is a there we go. Zoom right out. There's a standard size world. You won't see this on look, graphical anomalies. Brilliant. That's probably the recording process. You won't see a map this size if you're playing multiplayer with us. Yeah, everyone's welcome to join multiplayer. We tweet out when we're going to play it. So if you see a tweet from me that says we're playing, join in. Why not? Good fun, good times. But this is a small sort of single player type map. The multiplayer map's much bigger than this. I think it's 4 times the size of this. Maybe even bigger than that, actually. Maybe 8 times the size. But generally, you got a lot of land here. These patchy looking things, these are all farms. Anything with a name is a town. Towns of different sizes. We get if we can find a tiddler. There must be a little tiddler somewhere. This is quite small. Zooming in, there's a little tiddler town. Yours might not look the same with this. I've got a high definition texture pack on, so mine looks a bit more high definition. I can go all the way into that. And then you get bigger towns, which is like this one over here. Just the scroll wheel to zoom in and out there. If you want to move the map around, it's the right click button. You right click and sort of the mouse stays put, but the map moves around the back of it. Strange way of doing things, but you get used to it. Then on the map, as I say, you've got roads, you've got towns, and you've got lots of other little things like this here, and this here, and this here, and I don't think you actually do anything with that, but never mind. You've got this here, this here. Oh, we've got some good stuff here. This here, this here. These are all sort of like factories and places of construction and mines and things. And the idea of Open Transport Tycoon Deluxe is you transport stuff. I mean, the clue's in the name, basically. You've got to take stuff from one place to another place, and you get paid for doing it. And you get the big bucks if you're good at it. So let's take a look at some of these things we've got here. Let's start with the farms because they're fairly prevalent on the maps, fairly easy to find. This is a farm. In the middle of this patchwork quilt, you'll find a building thing that looks like this or similar to this. Might not look exactly the same, as I say. This is a farm. If you left click on the farm, you'll get a little window like this one up at the top. You can put that anywhere you want on the screen. It gives you the details of what you just clicked on. Gives you how much grain it produces and how much livestock. Farms produce both grain and livestock. Each of those items requires a different vehicle to transport it. You need sort of, say if you wanted to move it by road, you'd need a grain truck and a livestock truck. Trains, you can just have one train pulling multiple different cars. So you need to bear in mind. And if it's a train, it's also worth bearing in mind the production rates. This is producing more livestock than it is grain, so the train that turns up here should have more livestock cars than it does grain cars. That's the theory. Anyway, it's a good theory. Press location, it just zooms the main map in on that farm. Plus display chain, this is where it gets interesting. This is critical stuff to know this. It shows you the farm, and it shows you what it produces, grain and livestock. And it shows you what the accepting industries for those are. So this is where you've got to transport your grain and livestock to. You've got to transport it to a factory. You have to get this stuff to a factory, and then you will be paid for shifting that stuff. The further you move stuff, the more you'll get paid. Simple as that, really. So we've got grain and livestock from that. We could take that to a factory. Where was the factory? There's a factory here. This is a factory looking... Is that a factory? That might not be a factory. That's a steelworks. Here's a factory. This is a factory up here. Click on it. Sludgewood factory. Sludwood factory? Yes. Display chain on the Sludwood factory. Factory in the middle here accepts livestock, grain and steel. So we've already got livestock and grain sources from that farm down there, but steel comes from a steel mill. We'll look at that in a minute. But the factory produces goods as shown here, and they get shipped to houses. And houses, as they so often are in the main towns. So you need to link your factory to a town that you want to grow, because when you start shipping goods into a town, it will start to grow much quicker than it normally does. So we would, in this area, we would link this factory up to this town with road or train or some sort of connection, and then the goods could be shipped down to here, and this town will grow much faster. When a town gets big enough, it'll get a bank, and that adds to the complexity of the game, which is good. Up here we've got some coal mines. These two scrubby looking things here are coal mines. Let's have a look at a coal mine. Display chain on the coal mine. Coal mine produces coal. Unbelievable, I know, but it does. And the accepting industry for a coal mine is a power station. This is a little closed loop one. There's no sort of like with the farm, the grain was produced and that went to the factory, which produced something else, which went to the town. The coal and power station thing is just a closed loop. You ship coal to a power station, and that's that. Is there a handy power station around so we can show you a power station? Here's one. Not exactly handy, but display chain on that. You need a coal mine supplying coal to the power station. That's a simple little closed loop. So if you can get something running between power station and coal mine, there's going to be a constant income there. Bear in mind, coal, not a renewable resource. Eventually the mine will dry up and will stop producing. And mines have good periods and bad periods. Sometimes it'll be producing a lot. This one's got 180 tons of coal. This one's got 99 tons of coal. So it depends. If you click on it, you get a good idea of what you're likely to be shifting. What's this one doing? 72. So that's the worst of the three there. That's a weak link. But this one's quite good. Then you've got the iron ore mines. This one's quite a good iron ore mine. Display the chain. Iron ore mine produces iron ore. Again, it's not rocket science. Goes to a steel mill. The accepting industry is the steel mill. Cool, we've heard of steel mills before. This here is a steel mill. See all the rivers of liquid metal running around? Click on that. Manbridge steel mill. Display chain. Iron ore mine produces iron ore, which goes to the steel mill, which produces steel. Again, straightforward. That gets shipped to a factory, and as you remember, factory accepts steel, produces goods which get shipped to the town. So there's a whole sort of string of procedures here. Iron ore to the steel mill, to the factory, to the town. And if you're shipping all of that, you're maximising your profit margins, and your money will be going through the roof, which is good. Money through the roof is good times. Then we have these things. These are woods. Sludgewood forest. Display chain. Forest produces wood, which goes to the sawmill, which is straightforward. There's a sawmill down here, I believe. This is a sawmill. Requires wood. Display chain. Forest produces wood. Sawmill produces goods. Goods go to houses. So the sawmill will ship straight to the town. So this sawmill could have like a little road link to this town. And then we could ship stuff straight in. So this town here would have goods coming from the sawmill and from the factory, and it would just go, wow, great, happy times, we're going to grow really big now. Then there is, I think it was down in this farm, wasn't it? I saw them. These little nodding donkey type things here. These these things, the oil wells. This is producing quite a lot of oil. Anything over 100,000 units of it is quite a lot. Oil well produces oil, which goes to an oil refinery. Let us have a look at the oil refinery. I believe there's a couple of them. There's one down here. There's a nice pink one down here. It's very fetching in pink. Let's display the chain on that. There we go. Oil well, oil rig. Oil rigs don't come in early game. You'll see around the edge here. It kind of depends on the date you start in. I've started 1950s, so you don't get a lot of oil rigs. But they will, as the game progresses, oil rigs will appear around the edge on the water there. They supply a lot of oil to oil refineries. Oil wells tend to only a little bit and then dry up, but oil rigs, lots and lots. Oil refinery will produce goods, which can be shipped again to the houses. So again, a chain there. You're getting the oil to the oil refinery, which is producing goods, which you get to the town, which make the town grow, which make you more and more money. The bigger the town, the more they're going to pay you for the stuff that you ship to them, and you're going to make a crap ton of money. which is the whole point. You want to be a tycoon at the transporting. Are there any other little things here I haven't covered? No, I think that's fairly comprehensively covered there. I think we've covered all the possible. I mean, it's really straightforward. There are only a limited number of options you can do here. But so let's try something here, shall we? We've got down here, just on the edge of the map, if I can get this centered up right, we've got a coal mine here. It's producing 108 tons. It's a reasonable amount. It looks quite a small one, but it's doing quite well. And then we've got a power station here. So we need the coal to go to the power station. Now, easiest way of doing this, get us a road. Now, we've fired up, look at our toolbar at the top here. Let's close that down again. These are all our tools. We've got pause the game, fast forward, make the game go faster. You've got game options, the map stuff. Most things you click on will, as I say, open up a new window. It'll stack the windows for you. If you just keep clicking on things and opening things up, it'll stack it all up. Kind of useful when you've got a few vehicles whizzing around and you're trying to keep an eye on a few things at once. You get multiple windows open. You can arrange it all, sort it all out for yourself. These are all sort of statistics on the game. Then this is all the finance side of things. Unnamed company name. These we've got no construction, so this is all expenditure and income. We've got nothing going on. We are losing money. We've got loan interest because we started off the game with a £100,000 loan, and we're paying 1,725 a year in loan repayments. We can borrow more if we want to. Maximum loans 300,000. Infrastructure just lists what we've built. There's loads of punch down on the menu, so you can get down quite a lot. This just gives you your company details. You can change your new face if you want. If you want to just change yourself out a bit, give yourself a name. I can't remember how do we? Is that part of the renaming thing? I can't remember. Oh well. Oh yeah, manage your name there. So we could change that too. There you go. Our new company manager is Big Bucks, so inevitably things are going to go well for us. You can change your colour scheme if you don't want to be green, or whatever colour it's designated you. Let's go purple. Looks good. That looks good. Man suits purple, so that's good. Company name. We can change our company name. Big Bucks Transport to make lots of money. Excellent. You can rename a lot of things in the game, so that's pretty cool. And I don't want to go into too much detail on all of this. This is the graph that shows your operating sort of profits. In multiplayer, this is quite good because you can see how other people are doing. Everyone's on the same graph. You can get a feel for what's going on. Then we'll ignore all of this. You can have a play. It's important to find your own way around. These are just the zoom in and zoom out, but I prefer the scroll wheel myself. Then you've got these are the building tools. This little bank of 5 here is the building tools. These are the critical ones. You've got rail tool, road tool, waterway tool, airport tool. I tend to have airports turned off, especially when we're playing multiplayer, because they're as OP as hell in multiplayer games. And this is terrain leveling. If you want to do a bit of terrain leveling, maybe lower a little bit. I think it's equalize I tend to use more often than not. You start with a low point, you say I want all that to be equal, it'll just lower that down for you. And raising and lowering terrain, hideously expensive. Explosives will demolish something, maybe some trees there just get blown up. Always good. And then you've got this option here, which is buy land. So you want to reserve a bit of land. There you go. I've bought that land. I can do what I like with that land. No one else can use that land now. So if you're planning to build a station somewhere, you can just buy the land up, stop anyone else getting in there buying that land for you. So let's build a road connecting this place to this place, and then we can make some money, get some moolah in there. Now on this menu, on this little toolbar here, there's 3 road building tools. There's this one, and as you look at them, it does exactly what it suggests. For building roads on that axis, use that one. For building roads on that axis, use that one. For building roads generally, I just use this one. This is what I go for. This is my go-to guy. This is just like a drag a road job. And then you can just happily drag away like that and like that. There you go. And we've got a road. Perfect. Nothing is any more complicated than that. Now, of course, every year you get your financial update. This will pop up and just tell you what's going on. Now, of course, we need to actually move stuff, which means vehicles. Vehicles is where the fun starts. Now, it's going to be a lorry, a truck. I can't remember what this game calls them. What's this game call them? Where are we? Come on. Lorry loading bay. Lorry. This game calls them lorries. So, we're going to need, at this end, a lorry loading bay, and at this end, a lorry unloading bay. There is only the lorry loading bay, so we're going to have a lorry loading bay at each end. Now, you'll see here, they're orientated differently. This one is designed to sit on the bottom side of a road because it connects out that way. This one connects out this side. I hope you can see my mouse, actually. That would be annoying if you couldn't. This one connects out that way, and this one connects out this bottom corner. These sit on a road that passes straight through. Not massively helpful for lorry depots unless you've got a turning circle somewhere, because the lorry will have to go a mile to turn around and come back. But we just want standard, we want something sat at the end of this road, so it's going to be that one, which is just going to plop down. Coverage area highlight, we want that on, because that shows us the area that we're going to be hitting. And if you notice, up here, accepts supplies. When you're in the area of the mine, it says accepts nothing, supplies coal. If you place it down here, accepts nothing, supplies nothing, that's useless. That's going to be a completely useless object. So place it where it's going to be supplying what you need it to supply. And then just chuck it down on the end of the road. There you go. So we've got a named place, Mornington Mines Lorry Depot. Now we need another lorry depot at the other end. This one here is orientated the right way. And that accepts coal, which is what we want, because that's got the power station next to it. So we just throw that down there. So we've got a lorry depot here, lorry loading here, lorry loading here. This is cool. Now we need a lorry to go between the two. So we get ourselves a vehicle depot from the road construction menu. Road depot orientation. You can't have these in the middle of a road. You can only have these on the side of a road. So where are we going to put this thing? I think down here next to this junction. So we can either go for this one or this one. We're going to go for this one. Pop it down there, and it's linked up to the road like that. You see money that appears above when we do this? This is just because we're spending money. Now if we close all those menus down, you don't have to. I just like to keep a clean desktop when I'm doing this. And then we click on the lorry loading depot. On the depot we've just placed this thing. Mornington Road Vehicle Depot. And we want a new vehicle to do this job we've got to do. This is the list of vehicles that this thing can produce. Coal truck. Coal truck sounds like what we'd want. You've got mail trucks, oil tankers, livestock vans. This is what I mean by vehicles for different things from the farm. You've got livestock vans and grain vans. You've got goods trucks, which move goods from factories and wood mills and oil refineries to the towns. Iron ore trucks do what they say. Wood trucks do what they say. Armoured trucks, this is when you get banks. Don't worry about them. You'll get onto that, but I won't be helping you when you do, because you'll probably be beating me to a pulp. So we want a nice coal truck. Give that. You can either double click or click buy vehicle. We'll go for buy vehicle. There we go. And it's opened up this window. This window is now focused on our truck. It's still in the depot. It's stopped in the depot. It says there at the bottom, this vehicle stopped in the depot. We could rename this if we wanted to, but we're not going to. We're going to leave it as road vehicle 1. When you get so many vehicles, it ain't worth doing. We can close this down. We're not buying another one just yet. So we've got a vehicle waiting in here. We need to tell this vehicle what to do, otherwise it won't do anything. So if we click on this arrow looking thing here, we get vehicle orders. And it says end of orders. We need to give it some orders. So we're going to go to Mornington Mines. Like that. There we go. And it's appeared on the orders. And then we want to take the coal from Mornington Mines to Wunston South. So we're going to go to Wunston South. There you go. Go to Mornington Mines, go to Wunston South. Fair enough. That lorry will now come out and drive to here, and then drive to here, and then drive to here, and then drive to here. Won't do anything. It won't achieve anything. It will be unachieving. So we need to click on this, go to Mornington Mines, and we're going to fully load. Now you've got options here. Load if available, fully load all cargo, fully load any cargo, no loading. We're going to go for fully load all cargo. That way the lorry will stay there until it is full. If you do fully load any cargo or load if available, it will drive in, take what's there, and go again. There's no point in moving half loads. Move full loads. And when we get to the other end, go to Wunston South, we are going to unload all. It says unload and take cargo. There's going to be no cargo there for it to take. The coal's been accepted by the power station, so that's the option that comes up. Unload and take cargo. Just ignore that. It's just unload all. There are other options there. Unload if accepted. Transfer, which is useful if you combine road and rail, because you can take stuff to a station and dump it there, and then have the train come in, pick it up and move it on. Need to bear in mind, anything you're not transporting will decay. So all this coal that's building up here that we're not transporting will rot away eventually. So you need to get things moved. If you transfer them, if you take something somewhere, transfer it, you don't get paid for it straight away. The money shows what you would get if you carried it on to complete its journey, but unless you complete the journey with the full load, you won't get that money. So we've given this thing orders. There we go. Road vehicle 1, orders. Excellent. So we can close that screen now. And our lorry still in the depot. So here it is, showing up on the depot. To get the lorry to leave the depot, see this little green dot down here? Click on the green dot. The lorry is now on its way, and you'll see this screen here will follow the lorry. We'll keep that up there so we can see what's going on with the lorry. It's going to head to the mines, fill up with coal, take it to the power station and make us some money. That's the theory. But one lorry on its own, not going to be massively efficient. So if we click on the depot again and click clone vehicle and then click on the lorry on either this mini map, it's filling up, look. I mean, you get these little notices down at the bottom that it's kind of newspaper clipping type things, 30%. So if we try and click on the lorry, there we go, we've cloned it and it's created an identical lorry in the vehicle depot. And that lorry should have the same orders straight off the bat. So once you've cloned it, you can just click green button, off it goes. You've now got 2 lorries. We don't need to follow both of them, we'll just leave one of them being followed. So you've now got 2 lorries moving coal. This one is now fully loaded. It waited there till all the coal had arrived. It will now head off down to the power station and unload again. Excellent. So now let's look at moving stuff by rail. They've got a nice easy one here. This is gonna work a treat. We've got a factory down here which accepts livestock, grain and steel, and we've got a farm here which produces quite a lot of grain and a little bit of livestock. So we're going to get a train that just runs from here down to here. Simple, straightforward. There we go. It's made us $346 dues. So that's marvellous. So this whole system down here is now making us money. Now bear in mind we were making a 1,700 something loss a year. We need to make 1,700 with these 2 trucks a year to break even as things currently stand. Bearing in mind we've gone a little bit into the red because we've been spending money. So our little graph will have gone down, 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 down. You see. There's a little surge when we sold something and we'll have another surge. It'll probably just bobble along flat down there somewhere. You need to make the big bucks. That's what you need to be making. So let's get a train on the go. We've got lorries. We'll just close that because those lorries are just going to carry on doing their job now. Let's get a train on the go. Again, you've got track, different orientations for track. I use this one, the free sort of placement. But you need stations. Trains need stations. Here we are, the station tool. Orientation for stations. Number of tracks at the station. And the platform length. The default is for number of tracks is 1, and platform length is 5. I tend to go with 1 and 5. You can add more later, but if you know you need more platforms, you can sort of like add 3. That's a big one. Let's go orientate that way. That's got 3 platforms, each one 5 blocks long, so you can get a 5 long train in there. Which is good to know, because if your platforms are too short for your trains, you ain't going to fit in. So we just want one there. See, again, it supplies grain and livestock. That station we could place there supplies grain and livestock. If I move it out there, nothing. So it's got to go there for grain and livestock. Perfect. And we need another one orientated the other way. Oh no, we'll have it the same way. Down here, it tucks in nicely against the water there, and it accepts grain, steel, supplies, goods. So we can just tag that in there. Like so. Now, no, we need that menu. We need to connect this with the draggy tool up like that, and then, if I haven't got this wrong, into the station like that. Perfect. So that's just a really, really, really basic train line. Get a train depot, which is where you, as with the lorry depot, you produce your lorries in the lorry depot. With the trains, you produce your trains in the train depots. So we're going to chuck a train depot down, orientate it the right way round. Boomf. You can tell it's orientated the right way round. It's hooked up. Same with the road one. It hooked up when you placed it. Excellent. Now we click on the depot. Same with the lorry depot. You want new vehicles, and you've got multiple sort of engines that can pull your train. They're all different prices. You need to make the decision which is the best value for you. The more expensive, obviously, going to be able to go faster, be able to do more work, pull more weight, more reliable. I mean, that thing, quite reliable, but really slow, bag of junk. So I tend to go for the middle one because I don't have a lot of money. And this is going to be going to the farm, so this is going to need grain hopper, and I think we're going to have 3 grain hoppers. 1, 2, 3, and we're going to have 2 livestock vans. 1, 2. No, we've got 3 there, so we can just grab one off the end and drag it over to the X, and that bins that one and sells it off for you nicely. That's what you do if you want to get rid of a vehicle. You just drag it to the X and it bins the whole thing. You can do the whole thing at once, dragging it down to here. So we've got a train. So we bought a train. There it is, waiting in the depot. Nothing to do. Let's give it some orders. So we go to the orders menu, and we need go to Slentown Valley Farm. There we go, Slentown Valley Farm, and then go to Slenwood South. Perfect. But again, it would just go backwards, forwards, achieve nothing. So we need to give it specific instructions at those locations. So we want full load any cargo. No, full load all cargo. It will stay there until it's full. Got to get that right. Stay there until it's full, otherwise you're shipping empty trains, and that's pointless. Then you go to Slendown and you unload all. Unload and take cargo. Won't be taking any cargo, so the only thing to take from there is goods, and goods won't go in these train cars, so it won't be able to pick anything up. So that's the orders for that given, and we can just click on the little green dot in the depot, and off the train goes. Again, the screen will follow the train, like so, as the train chuffs its way happily up to Slendown Valley. Let's have a look at our little graph while we're doing this. There we go. Look at that. That's all the work of our 2 little coal lorries down here. If we wanted to make... Oh, it's arriving at station. Quickly. Train's arriving. Train has arrived. People are celebrating because they clearly don't have TV yet. It's only the 1950s. Starved for entertainment. They're celebrating the arrival of a train. Let's add another coal truck down here. This seems to be working quite well for us. So let's click on the depot, Mornington Vehicle Depot, and we can clone vehicles. And let's add that vehicle, and let's add it second time. Douche. Did you add? No, we missed the clone vehicle. It zoomed in on the vehicle instead. Let's just close that down, and let's clone vehicle is selected again. Douche. There you go. 2 more coal lorries, and we can turn them loose on the world because they've already got their orders. So our train's at 60%. Something is clearly letting the side down, probably the livestock. But if we click on the train, if we can hit up the train here, oh, it's already selected in this window, that's fine. So it shows you what exactly we've got on board. It's everything holding us up here. We need more livestock and we need more grain. We're full on grain now. We are full on grain. This is our yearly breakdown. We're not doing too bad. We're not doing too bad. We're a bit down on the year, but I mean, we've spent a lot of money. Can't be helped. We got to get 2 more items of livestock. There's just 2 stubborn cows that won't go in the truck. Once they're in, the train can leave. There we go. All the cows are now in the truck. The train can now leave. The train will head off down to Slendale South into the factory here, where the cows will be sort of ground up into cow goo, basically, and then that can be transported into a town, and the ladies of the town can wear the cow goo in their hair because that's fashionable apparently, and you'll be making money. So here we go. The train is selling, or the train is offloading, and it will make money. it's made 1,442, which is close to clearing our annual deficit all on its own. And it's going to do this journey 2 or 3 times a year, so the train is going to make us a lot of money. But now we need to expand this whole system we've got going here. We could sit with this for ages and watch it, and it would make us money slowly over time, clear our debts. But we need to basically expand this system so that we're doing lots and lots and lots of transportation. The idea is to transport as much as possible. The further you transport it, the more money you make for it. So bringing this coal in from this coal mine into the same power station would be good. I don't think we got... Oh yeah, we got oil here. We could truck that up to that oil refinery. A good one to build, and I will show you this quickly. I think I've been doing this intro for ages, so we need to cut short fairly soon. Is this one? Bus station orientation. We'll get some roads connecting this here town, chup 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 chup, to this here town. Here we go, and we'll just do a little bit of jiggery pokery here. There we go. So that town is connected to that town. We can get some bus depots. We can have an in-the-road bus depot there. We can have an in-the-road bus depot there. We can have an in-the-road bus depot there. Can we? No. I chose the wrong one. There. And we can have maybe an in-road bus depot there. And do we want another one over here somewhere? Yeah, I think we do. We'll have one there. And we can't place it on that hill, so we'll have to have it up there instead. Excellent. So we've got bus depots in that town. Bus stations. This is where buses can stop, pick people up, pick up passengers, and then clear off again. We'll have one more bus station. I want one more bus station down there. There we go. That looks good. We've actually got another oil refinery here, so we could actually move the oil from, where was it? Here, by road to that oil refinery. That would be quite a good one, I think. But we need a vehicle depot, because we haven't got a vehicle depot on these roads yet, because our road's down there. We could link our road to that and use the same vehicle depot, but we might as well just build another vehicle depot. Vehicles will have to go back to depots from time to time to get serviced, so it's important that you have plenty of vehicle depots around for them to get into, otherwise they're driving miles out of their way to get into a depot, and that can be really, really annoying because they're making a loss the whole time they're doing that. So we want a new vehicle. We want an MPS Regal bus because we're moving passengers, and we want to give it orders. Now, bus orders, these are fairly straightforward. You want to go to here, there we go. Go to Slendown, go to Slendown Transfer, go to Slendown Central, go to Wunston, go to, you just pick all of your bus stations like so. You don't need to change the orders on these. It's going to do its job. If there's people there, it'll drop them off. If there's people to be dropped off, it will drop them off. It does its job automatically. You don't need to refine its orders. So that bus is completed. So we can unleash that on the world like so. And that bus will set off towards Slentown, I should think. There we go. And start making us money. But again, as with the coal lorries, one bus, it's not going to make us a lot of money, so we'll wait for it to get a bit of distance away. It's going to get news down here. Yep, the bus has arrived. It won't do anything when it first heads out. It just doesn't. And we'll send another one off now, and then we'll clone it again. And it's all about spacing these things out, so you can let passengers build up at stations. I'll show you in a second. Clone vehicle, and when it gets to the first station, send it off. And we'll do one more, clone vehicle, and when it gets to the first station, so we now got a lot of screens following a lot of buses. So it's done something there. It's just stopped. It will stop at every station. Clone vehicle, send it off. There we go. We've got a few buses running around, all nicely on the screen there for us. We can stack these. They tend to snap together quite happily, so we can see all our buses. If I click on a bus station here, shows you accepts passengers, 3 passengers waiting, 7 passengers. They've gone now. If we click on these are all our buses. If we click on one of them, reliability 76%, 7 passengers from Slendown, capacity 31 passengers. So we're not running full buses by any means, but the towns will grow with this sort of intervention, and you will get more passengers on there. I mean, a lot of buses keeps passenger numbers down, keeps people happy. People will be happier with you. The towns will be happier with you. It's important to keep towns on your side, otherwise they won't let you build near them. So if we try and click on the town name, where's the town name there? There we go. We can pull up the stats on Slendown. I don't think we can rename it unless we're really popular with them. So this is the stats for Slendown. Rename. Oh, we could rename Slendown. They must really like us. Cool. Local authority screen. They think we're very good because we've got a bus service running through their town. They like us for that. If they don't like you, they won't let you build anywhere near their town, and that can be quite annoying if you've suddenly decided you want to ship something there or you've got passengers to go in there. They will block you out until they like you again. You have to kind of inch your way back in. But that's it. That's the basics of the game. That will get you started. There you go. We're making money. We're making money hand over fist there. I don't think I've ever had a game start so well. Maybe I should narrate the start of my games more often, because that's gone very well for me. We're making a bit of money there. But realistically, we need to get into more trains. Get some more trains going. Like I say, this oil here could easily be shipped up to here. We've got roads running quite close by. We could easily just do that. Maybe connect that one up there. No, you don't want to do that? Why don't you want to do that? Oh, there's a slopey hill here. It's not going to like me doing that slopey hill. It has funny rules about going down hills. There we go. Oh, I'm out of money. I'm out of money. I can't actually build that. What we could do in that situation is just borrow more money. Go up to the limit. Push it to the limit. Always go to the limit. Always good fun. There you go. Hook that up there, and maybe it'll build that one now. Yep. It'll turn red if it doesn't want to build it. There you go. So we could now easily use this vehicle depot to make oil tankers to take oil from the oil fields up to the oil refinery up here. They would make us quite a bit of money, because that's a long way for a vehicle like a road vehicle to shift stuff. But that's it. That's your basics. I've still got a long way to go before I conquer the map, but you can see where I am in the world. There's lots of purple names up here. I'm taking over by degrees. All good. So from Furryearsworld, come join us. We'll tweet when we're playing. Have fun.